right, hey, we're live. We're gonna do some game design tonight. So it's Thursday evening here. Give me a few minutes here. I don't have a countdown timer starting soon. 4 minutes, ready to go. I just kind of jump online and start yammering at UI. Press all the buttons that people press behind stage because I'm horrible at doing production. So yeah, I'm going to be clicking on some social media stuff here, and I'm going to be just kind of rambling a little bit and doing some intro stuff while I'm hitting all the social links and things that go along with, hey, we're live now. Chuck, good. There's all that. And so what I will do is, if you want to skip ahead a minute, you should be able to catch me after the bump. But for those that are trapped here in space-time now with me, or are new to the channel, hey, welcome to the mix. My name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and I publish them online, and I am a huge Dungeons & Dragons enthusiast. We're currently in Dungeons & Dragons 5.5, basically, and I've been a DM since 1987. I've been a freelance illustrator since 1999, and I've been creating content on the DMsGuild since 2018. There's actually a stack of books in the description down below that you can flip through. They're all free previews for you guys to take a look at. If you think they're cool, consider making a purchase just to encourage more behavior like that. But a lot of the ideas that I bring in the book is modifying how the 5e game engine works, like the mechanics of it and what kind of games can you play with those changes. And a lot of the inspiration that I have is back in the days of first edition and Beckme, when characters amassed wealth through dungeoning, through dungeon delving, to then go on to gain property, land, their own city-state, expand their territory, lead armies, create societies. That's how far down the rabbit hole D&D can go. And it was kind of assumed that's where you're heading towards back in the early days of D&D, but that's been stripped out. Since WotC has taken over, they built it more into a character growth experience. It's kind of like deck building with character levels, where you're sequencing your character's levels to be able to build the kind of mechanical expression that you want through the character that you're portraying. And so that gave the rise to dungeon punks, where they didn't really exist outside of the dungeon environment. Third edition started down that path. 4e leaned into it. And 5e has, oddly enough, pulled away from dungeon punking in general, but has left it basically with the identity of the characters, whether they're in a dungeon or just hanging out in a cottage or whatever. So the Bastion system that's now in the 5e24 system, I'm happy that it's there, but it's a social interaction. It's a narrative experience that gives your characters extra magic items and basically like spell casting and stuff like that, which is power 5th edition characters don't really need. Especially the new 5e24 characters don't just need, like, pick whatever magic item that you want. There should be a balance between what the DM allows the players can have and a means of earning it through adventuring or successful skill challenges or some sort of challenge that the characters go through. If they want a reward, there should be risk, which it creates a challenge for the characters to overcome. And so the Bastion campaign system leans into that idea of, as the characters become more and more powerful, they have greater and greater tasks that they can take on. Running a bastion, running a society, running a fortress or whatever creates challenges on an ongoing basis that can be used as adventuring hooks for the characters to basically progressively generate a campaign off of the premise that the players control this bastion, and all the characters that are inside of it are potential characters that players could run on a west march to solve problems in or around or beyond the bastion. So that's the idea of basically your bastion becomes a pool of potential characters that can be pulled at any time to build an adventuring team to take on a task. So we've been going through the process of rebuilding the Bastion system in the DMG to serve that framework. So that's the end of my that's the end of my introduction. So let me just punctuate it all here by saying, if you think this stuff is cool, this is the stuff that I do. So like, subscribe, Hit the bell icon for notification when we're live in the future. Again, here's the stack of books that I've created. They're designed to modify how the 5e game engine works so you can play different types of games. And for today's episode, here's the entire playlist. We're on episode 36 so far. This is our 8th of those 36, actually just rebuilding the facilities in Bastions. And if you want to tag along, the playtest document is a Google Doc. It has you'll have read-only access while I'm working on it. It'll eventually be converted into a PDF that we'll be publishing on the DMsGuild, just like these other books that we've created. So check those out, especially if you're a Magic the Gathering fan. This was the first set of books that I started creating in 2018. And it basically converts D&D into the Magic the Gathering system of 5 colors. You tap mana to be able to like create different spell effects. It replaces the 8 schools of magic and spell slots, and brings in this very MTG design for expressing your characters, especially in Ravnica, Theros, Strixhaven. I use the color mana system in Eberron. I just think color is just so much more engaging and evocative, and literally providing visual cues for how magic exists inside of your world, that if you're using a color system, it just embellishes and leans into that flavor of magic so much more than these 8 schools of magic, which are just labels that don't actually have any kind of physical ramification on the world. So magic, it modifies and changes the world. Magic fuels the world. So there should be a visceral, I'm playing with my camera. There should be a very visceral, very kinetic, engageable, tangible system of magic that can be interacted with directly with your characters to make them feel like they're a part of this world. And color is such a great way to do that. So anyway, check those books out. There's like 6 of them in the series. We're going to be rebuilding all of them here. When my Eberron adventure is done, that I'm working on in the morning, we're going to go into these MTG books and we're going to rebuild them using 5e24 mentalities. And be welcome to join my Discord to check out the playtesting that we're doing with different mana mechanics. So hopefully I'll see you guys there. In the meantime, here's the document we popped open, Bastion Campaigns. Here you go. We're going to be working in this today. We're hopefully going to be finishing up the facilities. So there's 29 facilities in the Dungeon Master's Guide, which I believe is here. Yeah, facilities. And you can see here, like, for example, the pub. You can issue the research order to gather information. Important events happening within 10 miles of your bastion over the next 7 days. So 7 days after you issue this order, you get information back. If the spies, let's see, of any creature that is familiar to you, let's see, during that time, these spies can divulge the location of any creature that is familiar to you, provided the creature is within 15 miles of your bastion and not hidden by magic or confined to a location that the DM deems is beyond the spy network's ability to locate. If the spies learn the target's location, they also learn where that creature has been for the past 7 days. So that's a research action you can perform to track things down. There's also you can brew potions, a few different type of potions. They last for 24 hours and then they're gone. You can have one type per season, so that's a fairly limited scope on what we can do. Like it's a pub. So there you go. It makes magic potions, and they can give you and they can tell you the location of a creature after 7 days if it's within 50 miles and you know what it is. So instead, let's check out what we've done with the pub so far. So you can see there's no risks, there's no rolls. It's just I want to find out this piece of information, and the DM decides if you can or can't. This is you just make a potion and there's no questions asked. It lasts. You can take it away from the pub and it'll fizzle out after 24 hours if you don't drink it, and it lasts for 24 hours if you do. So like as long as your adventure is within 1 day's journey of your pub, you can stock up on these potions to buff your team. But not if they're beyond that, because it's incredibly limited. But there's no resources or anything invested towards doing these things, so it doesn't require a lot of weight. So it's very thin and narrative only. So adding weight to things, let's go to the pub. since that's what the example we're using as a comparison. And this isn't me shitting on D&D or WotC. This is me recognizing that the way that they built this was to not have any kind of risk reward system. It's just a narrative element. They're leaning further away from rolling dice and more into what role are you depicting. So that's just a narrative trend that D&D goes towards. Like if it's not hitting things and expending spell slots, generally it's going to be just narrative without any engagement beyond combat. Combat is where all of their mechanical weight exists. So we want to expand on that because the 5e game engine is so much more than just a combat engine. So the pub, we can improve crafting, we can improve maintaining a lifestyle, we can acquire research, and we can perform trade through a pub. This is the expansion that we've made on this specific facility. So the facility benefit in general is that when you're issuing the maintain order to determine the lifestyle of your bastion, you can roll an additional bastion die, adding the highest roll to the result of this check. Hey Steve, how you doing? So this pub is it generates income. You issue an order to generate wealth. You make a die roll, and then depending on what the result is the lifestyle that you're able to create. Now, that's just a general thing. Like the general order of your bastion makes a maintain order each turn or season or year, depending on how many points you're willing to how much meta currency, bastion points, you're willing to spend to sustain a lifestyle. Once you get to a lifestyle that you like, you can start investing bastion points into sustaining that lifestyle, representing. Bastion points represent wealth. It's a meta currency that can be literally converted into gold with time and effort. And with time and effort, gold can be converted into bastion points. So we've talked about that before, about what's the purpose of gold at low levels, to accumulate enough of it to create a bastion. What does a bastion do with wealth? It eats it and gives you more and more benefits and resources that your characters can use throughout the campaign as a result of investing those resources. So when you put bastion points into sustaining a lifestyle, once you hit a level of lifestyle that you like, you can, if you have enough points to invest, you drop them in, and you don't get those points back as a resource until the duration ends. Sometimes they can last a week, sometimes it can last a month, a season, a year, or it can be perpetual. It just depends on the scale of your the rank or the scale of your bastion, to see how well it can maintain momentum with the lifestyle that it's providing for its hirelings, the staff. So aside from that, orders you can directly issue to the pub is to craft. You can issue the craft order to create non-magical items. There's a list at the end of this document that lists all the items in the player's handbook and cost by rarity for magic items that you can use to calibrate what type of items it is that you can create at each sort of facility. Like, for example, at the pub, you can basically create liquor, ale, wine, and food. That's it. But it's on the list, right? You could also make rations out of leftovers. 1, 2, 3 for Uchi. Hey, what's up, my guy? Let's see. Oh shit, Uchi. Just a quick tangent. You were asking about forest assets. I'm going to take a real quick detour here because Uchi was asking, and he's one of my Discord guys. I wanted to just show you what I got, so you don't have to hang. If it doesn't meet what you need, then go ahead and leave it behind. But let's go to art, and then we'll go to environment tokens, and then let's go to. No, this isn't the right place. Let's go to production, handouts, Act 2. No, it's Act 1. The forest. Region 2. Here you go. So here's a forest a forest map that I've created with different forest assets. So here I'll zoom this out here. So you can see each one of these is a tree. Each square is a 5-foot square. These trees are all very can be scaled. So let me. There's a tree. So first off, we can take off the lid, so you just have the branches left over. So like in a VTT environment, the ground would be a background. This is just a texture. So you can put the ground down, and then you can put this this scaffolding in place for this tree. It's a separate image file, right? So it's got the branches, and it's got the border where those branches actually sit. So like from above, you would have cover, right? So, or you're obscured from view overhead. And then there's the canopy that you drop on top. So if your characters are above the tree line, they can't, or they haven't seen what's underneath the tree yet, you leave the canopy on, and then in your virtual tabletop, you put this on the token layer, so you can lift it off while leaving the tree branch and the actual root system of the tree in place for the characters to climb up on and do whatever inside of. Or like here, like this provides cover. Like from here, you'd have cover to here, right? Because you can't shoot through the tree. So you have idea of where coverage and where your obscurement is. These are all separate trees that are all separate tokens, and like you can take, let's see. Like if you wanted a smaller scale tree, like for a village map or something, see, it scales down really fucking nice. So you can take these assets at any scale that you want. Marsh assets in particular. Gotcha. Let's see. First off, we have these dandelion brush here that you can make use of as separate tokens. Thicket. Oh yeah, these are thickets. So it's like tarns. These are, if those are of value to you as a texture. Hold on. I am not doing a good job. Where's my bit? There it is. Like these are individual tiles here. Like this tile and this tile are the same tile. But this one's been rotated 90 degrees. See, it's the same tile. So, but I built a bunch of tiles so that they can all chain together to make these thickets that provide partial cover for characters, felled logs, and just random logs and rocks that provide difficult terrain. But I'll get out of this, and we can go look at one of my more marshy things. And if it doesn't work for you, then no harm. But I want you to at least see what I can offer to see if it's useful. So let's go to Act 2, and let's go to the Manifest Zone. And optional encounters. Let's go to here's a gazebo in a marshy environment. These are large puddles. They're sinkholes that provide 5 foot that provide partial cover if you're on the embankment. This is gritty soil. These are little camps of fungus and mushrooms. Here's more bramblewood, and these are all different components. Here we go. Here, yeah, these patches. These are all separate tokens as well that you can chain together. Like 2 or 3 different types. So if any of these are interesting to you, just drop me a line down in Discord. These are all going to be part of the Eberron adventure that I'll be publishing on the DMsGuild. So anyone that picks up the Eberron adventure gets all of these different icons, toolkits to be able to build assemblies like this, to be able to build your own tiled forests. Or in this case, it's a marshy environment. Like you have the base ground here is this grayish, this mid-tone, and then it's got this coffee-like soil that overlays it. Might be useful. If any of that stuff, if that's the kind of stuff that you're looking for, just drop me a note down in Discord and I'll kick it to you when I'm off stream. But I appreciate you playtesting with me. Thanks a lot. So, but back on track. So I knew you had a question about that. So if it's not what you're looking for, then I don't want to hold you up, because I'm going to be on stream here for a couple hours. So you might not have that kind of time to wait. But I want to at least, I'm glad you show up so I can share. So let's see. Let's get back into the Bastions, y'all. Right on, man. You have a good time. I'll see you. Hopefully I'll see you on Saturday, but otherwise I'll just see you online whenever. Okay, so we were talking about the pub, right? So we know from the DMG, the pub here has the ability to make potions one at a time. You can switch it out per week, and it lasts for 24 hours, and then it goes bad. And then if you drink it, it lasts for 24 hours. And you can issue an order to the pub to track down information about a creature you know that's within 50 miles of you. It takes 7 days for them to find the answers about where that creature is. And so that's all it does. Potions and find a creature you know that's within 50 miles of you. So we expand that. You can implement crafting here with the order of making food and liquor. The larger your facility, the more of the stuff you can make. Obviously, if you like start off with a little mom and pop shack, you can have like a wall of beers, but eventually you escalate to Anheuser-Busch, and you've got warehouses full of massive, breweries. Your pub can ramp up that way as it gains ranks. The research order, we have the facility benefits. So when you're rolling to maintain a lifestyle for your bastion and all the inhabitants, if you have a pub, you get to roll 2 proficiency dice and keep the higher. So basically, you gain advantage on your proficiency die. Proficiency dice was from the was an alternate rule, a variant rule in the DMG 2014, and it's a core mechanic inside of the Essence 20 system that does G.I. Joe, Transformers, Power Rangers, and oddly enough, My Little Pony. They license IPs from Wizards, and then they make role-playing games out of it. I wonder if they attempted to get access to Magic the Gathering and were denied, or if it's a very long-winded project, but I would certainly love for D&D, for Wizards to reach out and ask me about my mana system, because it's just really good. I've been using it for 7 years. It's really good. Check it out. It's down below. Research. So here's another order. So again, you can find a creature that's within 50 miles of you if it's not warded, and after 7 days, they can tell you where it's at. The research order that we have is instead you can issue the research order to observe conversations and overhear rumors about recent events, local items, locations, or NPCs. Make a bastion check. Again, it's an ability check. The result of the roll determines the number of questions you can ask about the topic the DM answers truthfully. So if I wanted to, if I'm comparing apples to apples, here it could be, find me Krenko the Goblin. And after 7 days, they can tell you, yeah, he's in the Undercity in Rakdos territory. It's like, okay, well, now we know where he's at. With this system, it would be, hey, find out about what's going on with Krenko. And so they go out and it's the same 7 days. A bastion turns 7 days, regardless in this system or theirs. It's the same. Apples to apples. 7 days later, so you roll the research check. And depending on the result that you get on the 10 to 30, and let's say it's a second rank pub, or a second rank bastion. So the second rank bastion is going to roll a d20. You're going to add 2 for its rank, which is 2. And then let's say it's got the pub. So let's say it's put a lot of research points. It's put 2 points of research into the pub. So you've got, your pub is really good at collecting rumors. You would then roll a d6 twice, and you would add the better result. So say, I'll just do that real quick here with my percentiles. So I'm going to say, hey, give me as much information as you can about Krenko. I'm going to add a 2. I'm going to roll a d20, a d6. I'm going to add 2 to it because I'm second ranked. I rolled a 6 on my d6, which means that my spies did a really good job working together. And plus 2, I have an 8 base. Now on my d20, it's actually kicked on the side. So rolling my d20, I got, holy crap, that's a 15. So I got a 15 here, a 6 here, and 2 there. I just rolled a 23. So a result of 23 is I get to ask, it's between 20 and 25, I get to ask 3 questions about Krenko. Where is he is my first question. He's down in the Undercity in Rakdos territory. Is he being protected by anybody? Yes, he's at the Suicide Inn. And we know that there's a chain devil that's there, and there are 3 plague witches that have been hanging out there for the past, well, since Krenko's gotten there. So yeah, he's got about 16 CR worth of support backing him up right now. Okay, third question. Do we know why he's there? Yes, but you have to answer truthfully. So, yes, he's there because he's trying to broker bodyguards from Rakdos so that when he tries to move through the city, he has an armed guard on him that's hidden while his goblin troops are visible out front. He has assassins following him to take out any threats that the goblins can't easily take out. So he's trying to negotiate those assassins to be his bodyguards while he moves through the city. But we don't know any details beyond that because we only rolled a 3, not a 5. If I had rolled 5 questions, I could have said, do we know where they're moving to? It's like, yeah, that was part of the negotiations. He's planning on moving through the 10th district towards the governor's lair, towards the governor's heights, but we don't necessarily know why he's going there. Because that's a step further beyond why he's there at the pub. So that would be a limit of the knowledge. It's like, okay, well, that's our dead end. That becomes a hook for the characters to find out why is he going there. Why does he need assassins? Why does he need assassins? I have one question left over. Cool. Well, the reason he needs that is because he thinks he's on Gruul's hit list for some betrayal stuff that he did out in a Selesnyan territory. So we think that means that there's Gruul terrorists nearby that are going to probably car bomb him or something while he's trying to traverse the area. So these assassins are going to keep an eye out for Gruul terrorists while the goblins just deal with normal crowd control. That's a really interesting scenario that the characters can decide to insert themselves into in any way that they want. But they only have limited information. Why are the Gruuls pissed off? What was the deal that was going on? Why is he going to the Governor Heights? These are plot hook questions that if you have enough time, you can potentially... Oh, shit. I forgot to ask, when is this all going down? Fuck. Well, I already asked my 5 questions, so I'm shit out of luck. We're going to have to find out on our own when this is all going down and what side of it do we want to be on. That could become an adventure hook for your characters so easily. So that's the idea. But that's basically what the pub does. It helps you maintain a lifestyle for your characters and all their hirelings in the Bastion with the advantage on the facility benefit. You can craft food. Rations and stuff like that if you need them. And most importantly, you can find out information about any contemporary recent events, local items, locations, NPCs, and get truthful answers. If I had rolled below a 10, I would have had a complication. And something would have gone wrong. Quite possibly, like, my researcher's getting killed. Shit, well, let's go check it out real quick. Let's see what went wrong. Say I rolled below a 10. No matter how high my Bastion gets, I could still roll below 10. It's still possible. The worst roll that a 5th rank, top rank Bastion can roll, the worst roll is a 7. So nothing ever gets out of range of potential threats to the Bastions. There's always the opportunity for something going wrong, which become adventure hooks to drive the campaign. So let's, here we go. Bastion conflicts. That's conflicts. Sabotage warfare. Here's our items list. There we go. Here's our complications. So we were doing a research order, and we rolled below 10, so we failed. So we're gonna roll a d6 to see what went wrong. Generally, what went wrong. So I roll a 4. So maintain issue. The hirelings discover a dark secret. They're afraid to research any further. You can issue a maintain order to offer additional pay or rewards to continue despite the risk. So basically, this becomes a speed bump. You rolled below a 10, but now it's going to cost you. If you're maintaining a comfortable lifestyle for your guild right now, these guys will require you to have a wealthy lifestyle. If it's an aristocratic lifestyle, they may require you to be able to match or get above a 30 for them to be appeased. So this sets the bar for the Bastion check they have to make to be able to provide additional compensation to your spy network. But if you wanted to make an adventure out of it, you can further investigate the dark secret to assure that the researchers aren't retaliated against. So basically, between the plot hook and the solution and the problem, it seems like your spies were discovered by Rakdos, and they're either being tailed now, got cursed, or possibly threatened, or possibly even being blackmailed to turn against your characters. So if you make a plot hook out of it, you might have to go crack some Rakdos skulls. If instead you want to issue a maintain order, you can just simply buy them out of the problem. Look, we're going to take care of all this. I'm just going to take a vacation, take some time out of town on us, our dime. Go on vacation with your family, and by the time this is done, you can come back and everything's going to be fine again. And if you can successfully make that roll, they're going to go on a vacation. And then you're going to proceed with it. But that resolves the threat, so you get the information that you're supposed to get from the spy check, but you roll below a 10, so you don't get any answers. You completely failed at gathering any intel. In fact, you just pissed off Rakdos. So now that becomes a problem that your characters are going to need to deal with. There you go. Anyway, that's how the system works. So right now we're going through the process of is ratifying the right word? We're consolidating, we've been standardizing what the benefits are throughout all the facilities, so they're all structured the same way, use the same language, and provide some synergistic overlap without making anything become abusive to the system. Nothing breaks the system, and it all stays in scale with your character's levels and the rank of the Bastion. Ideally, you want your Bastion to be the same rank as your character's proficiency bonus. It's like a first level character has a +2 proficiency bonus. You want your Bastion to be first rank. Fifth level, your characters get a +3 proficiency bonus. You want your Bastion to be second rank. So it stays in step with your characters. But you could run campaigns where your characters are higher levels than the Bastion, you're trying to raise it up, or the Bastion is higher level than your character, and your characters are being promoted from within to become significant fixers or heroes to that Bastion. You can do that with any number of groups. So you can start off a whole bunch of teams at first level, like one team at first, another at 5th, 9th, 13th, and then 17th at your top rank. So you could start off with a 5th rank guild that your team has control with hundreds of members in it, or even thousands of members. And as problems arise, you assign teams of different levels to match the scale of threat that the complication poses to the Bastion. That takes care of a lot of narrative elements that exist inside of the fantasy tropes, like Gandalf is, if this is such an important problem for you, why don't you go take care of it yourself? And it's because the problems that he's dealing with are a higher tier than you. I would love to help you with that, but the Bastion also happens to have a 17th level problem that I'm taking care of. So Frodo, let's take your 5th level team and go burn down that. You can go across the continent and throw a ring into a fire. That's something 5th level characters can achieve. I have to go save the world from demons right now, so I'm gonna peace out. Take care of this. Like that's how reality works. But this actually provides a mechanic behind it, so that you can actually lean into that narrative, and suddenly that becomes that trope becomes truth, and you subvert the trope to make the trope become how the world actually works. And you can do things like that. It's fun. Anyway, so standardizing. One thing that we're trying to secure is between, like, all improvements, it just counts as you make improvements. This advances this is what allows you to increase the die that you use in your Bastion. You gain a bonus equal to the rank of your Bastion, and then whatever rank you've achieved in each order is the die roll that you have. So I could be rolling like a 5th rank Bastion, could be rolling like a D12 on harvesting materials, but only have, like, say 3 ranks in the maintain order, so I'd be rolling a D8 plus 5 instead of D12 plus 5 in my D20. And then recruiting, I might not have any points spent on recruiting. So if I do a recruiting check, it'd be a D20 plus 5 because I haven't earned any improvement dice. So all of these count as one feature. Every tick here on the facility benefits, that counts as one. And each tick here on the orders, like recruit, that's an order. It has this little tick mark. And this has a tick mark. So 1, 2, 3. The menagerie only has 3 benefits. Or 3 modifiers. As opposed to the observatory, it has 1, 2. It has the improvements. It has downtime activities that can be performed. And it has the research order. So it has 1, 2, 3. This has 3 features. Let's see. What about the planar bridge? 1, 2, 3, 4. This has 4 features. It improves. You can improve these different orders: empower, recruit, and trade. And the facility benefits themselves is that you can cast the gate spell once per day for free because you have a planar bridge. And maybe I should change it to planar gate. Yeah, let's change it to planar gate. And it requires 5th rank, so effectively 17th level characters, because the gate spell is a 9th level spell. Your characters get access to that 17th level. So you wouldn't expect a facility to have access to a gate spell until it has people capable of casting 9th level spells, which means it's a 5th rank guild or 5th rank bastion, organization, mage tower, whatever. In addition, you roll an additional bastion event each bastion turn. Bastion events are either wheels or woes. They're just random things that happens, and there's one that happens basically every week. But if you have a planar gate, because you're dimension hopping so much, more weirdness happens around you than usual. So you roll twice. And then you also have the order to recruit, which is you can issue the recruit order to convince an extraplanar creature to aid the operations of your bastion or to act as a sidekick during adventures. The maximum CR you can recruit cannot exceed the rank of the bastion. You can retain a number of monsters as allies this way equal to the number of bastion points expended to improve this facility. And again, you can improve this facility through trade, meaning that you're actively trading with other dimensional societies with stuff that you grow here on the Prime in exchange for weirdness that they have. You can recruit, again, we can recruit creatures here. And then empower, which is the empower order is the being able to cast a gate spell once per day, for example. So technically, empower is anything that improves characters, bastions, or creates magical items. Like those are the things. So this facility benefit of being able to cast gate, that's empowering. So I can improve, like if I put 1 point into empower, 1 point in recruit, and 1 point into trade, I now have 3 points, 3 bastion points invested into my improvements. And I can get more bastion points by either just amassing gold and buying them, stealing them from another bastion or a settlement, or gaining them as rewards to an adventure. If you had a settlement and you controlled the government in that settlement, you could be creating tax revenue, for instance, which could be converted into gold. Otherwise, it's just converted into bastion points, or it's just used to maintain a lifestyle for the settlement in general. So there's a lot of different ways that you can minimize economics in your game, but still have them mechanically relevant and easily narrated without having to worry about playing accountings and abacus. So I'm pretty proud of that mechanic. Works really well. I actually took it from D20 Modern back in the 3rd edition days when they came up with the modern setting, where they had 6 character classes, each framed around an ability score. Like the Tough was a constitution-based combat type character. What was it? The Swift character was dexterity-based. The Brain is intelligence-based. Stuff like that. It was pretty cool. But they had this wealth. They had a wealth roll that, depending on what level your character was and how much you of your adventuring you invested into lifestyle, you could make a die roll against a DC. And if you hit that difficulty, whatever it is that you're buying doesn't fatigue you. It's like, yeah, I can buy that car, it's not a problem. But depending on what level of lifestyle you have, that might knock you 2 or 3 ranks down. So what you may have only, like, for example, if buying that car would only take a DC 10 for your character because they're wealthy, they can, and if they roll a 10 or better, then they get the car. But now they're fatigued. Their wallet is fatigued. So now if they're going to make any similar level of purchases, it's a DC 15 or even a 20. And the more often you fail this die roll, if you succeed in big ticket purchases, it pushes up your DC. The more you fail your DC, the lower your bonuses get. So it becomes more and more difficult to be able to hit the DC of expensive ticket items. And the more you fail at funding it, the lower and lower your resources are until you have time to replenish your income. So that was the core that I pulled from to be able to build this lifestyle mechanic. I just coupled it with the different tiers of lifestyle that characters can sustain for themselves, and just applied it at the Bastion level. And that die roll now subsumes all math that you would need about like how much money does the pub make, and does that help make, did we make enough at the pub this month to help improve the lifestyle of everyone in our bastion, or are we just more in debt now because we had a bad month at the pub with bad decisions? Make your die roll. Was it a good roll? Yeah, it was. Well, you guys crushed it. You guys are all doing well, and you got spare booze. Congratulations. That's a wealthy lifestyle. So like that, it's that simple. But depending on what facilities you have in your bastion, kind of narrates how that money gets generated. Like if I've got a planar gate in my bastion and a pub in my bastion, maybe I'm making exotic brew from unnatural materials from other planes of existence. Or maybe Valhalla really loves our mead that much that they're willing to trade platinum for it every time we open up our gate. So fun ways to be able to spin and combine that stuff, but it creates a narrative that can help build the world around how your bastion operates by these very simple die rolls. So now you've seen an example of like 4 marks versus 3 marks. I want all these facilities. We need to, first off, we need to assess how many marks does each facility have. So I've been rambling a lot, but hopefully you're finding this stuff to be pretty cool. It's only been 40 minutes. That's pretty good for me rambling. I'm sufficiently excited at this point to be able to proceed properly. So let's just start at the end and work our way to the beginning. We're just going to mark off how many benefits each facility gets for us to find out where we need to go. So we can harvest, we can maintain. No, these are settlements. Settlements is a different creature. So let's see. Workshop. Improvements is 1. And then we have craft and power and recruiting. That's 1, 2, 3, that's 4. So the workshop has 4. I'm going to go like this. 4. Nope, that's the sanctuary. Down here. 4 here. Let's see. Next up is the war room. Improvements, 1 tick. And there. 1 ticks, that's 1, 2, 3. Trophy room is next. 1, 2, 3, 4 things for the trophy room. Holy Hannah. Did not expect that. Training area. 1 order, 2 downtime, 3 benefits, and 4 improvements. Theater. 1 order, 2 downtime, 1, and then downtime activity is 2, and then improvements is 3. So we have room for growth there. Next up is the teleportation circle. 1, 2, 3, 4 things for the teleportation circle. Storehouse, and we'll be looking at these more in depth again. Storehouse has 1, 2, 3 benefits. Stable has 1, 2, 3, 4 things for the stable already. Spy network. 1, 2, 3, 4 things already. Smithy, 1, 2, 3, 4 things already. Scriptorium. 1, 2, 3 things. Room for improvement, or room for expansion. Sanctum. 1, 2, 3, 4 things already. Sanctuary. 1, 2, 3, 4 things already. Sacristy. 1, 2, 3, 4 things already. Next thing. Reliquary. 1, 2, 3, 4 things already. Nice job. What's next? The pub. 1, 2, 3, 4 things already. Pub is good to go. Planar bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 things already. Observatory. 1, 2, 3. 3 things. Room for expansion. Menagerie. Menagerie. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 things. Room for expansion. Meditation chamber. 1, 2, 3. 4 things already. Library. 1, 2, 3, 4 things already. Next up, laboratory. 1, 2, 3, 4 things already. Guild hall. 1, 2, 3, 4 things already. Greenhouse. 1, 2, 3, 4 things already. Government. 1, 2, 3 things. Room for improvement. Ain't that the case? Garden. 1, 2, 3, 4 things already. Gaming hall. 1, 2, 3 things. Room for growth. Demiplane. 1, 2, 3. Crypt. 1, 2, 3. 3 things. Barracks. Barracks. 1, 2, 3 things from the barracks. Auction house. 1, 2, 3, 4 things from the auction house. That one's done. Armory. 1, 2, 3, 4 things in the armory. Archives. 1, 2, 3 things in the archives. And last, arcane study. 1, 2, 3, 4 things in the arcane study. Nice. All right, and just to solve, there was the question about dungeon, prison, and slave pens. They're all kind of. I'm going to drop those off. They're slave pens. There might be a place for prison, perhaps, but if they're slave pens, it should be able to basically work like a cross between prisons and barracks. But I don't know what that is yet. The idea of a dungeon. Dungeon is kind of like a settlement, I guess. I don't know, a dungeon. I guess. I don't know, a dungeon. Maybe labyrinth could be a facility. There might be teeth to that. This is something that Francois had brought up to us before, so I'm considering that. But okay, so here are the things that we need to resolve. We need the archive, barracks, crypt, demiplane, gaming hall, government, menagerie, observatory, scriptorum, storehouse, theater, and war room. So that's 12. That's 12 out of the 32 that only have 3 options instead of 4. All right, we're gonna have to start strapping our helmets on and figuring this one out, my boys. Archive. It can improve empowerment and research. If you issue the research order, you can issue the research order to study a specific topic, making a bastion check. The result of the roll determines the number of questions you can ask about the topic. DM must answer truthfully. This is the same as the pub, except this is about to study a specific topic. Let's see. You can issue the research order to study a specific topic. Make a bastion check. The result, it could be anything because it's archives. It has everything. So it's basically a general everything die roll. And it has the empower option, which is issue the empower order to create magical items, which can be arcane, divine, druidic, scrolls. And then the improvements are empower and research, which are kind of on the nose there. So I need to introduce an additional perk. So it's either going to be a downtime activity that the characters can perform if they spend their time in the archives. If the characters were to perform this research, or if the characters were to create the magic item, then they would do so in the archive, and they would be spending their downtime in the archive. And the general benefit of doing that is that your character, if a character issues an order to a facility, and instead of walking away, decides to perform the order themselves, then instead of the Bastion making a Bastion roll, the character makes an ability check and adds the Bastion die to the result, basically gaining like a Bardic Inspiration check, basically, to that Bastion die roll off of your character. And your characters are usually going to have better stats because you've got your D20 plus your ability bonus plus your proficiency bonus, potential expertise on top of it, and then you get your Bastion die beyond that. So there's a lot of ways for your characters to automatically succeed at orders issued if the characters are there micromanaging that activity directly themselves, because they are sacrificing their time to do this thing, like to make that magic item, instead of going out and adventuring, or even instead of researching your next subject that you're going to go on an adventure about. So this becomes a passive task that you issue to your Bastion as an order, which could fail and cause problems. And then your character has to decide, am I going to stop making my magic item and go resolve this complication this week and set myself back a week on building these this magic item? Or is it not an actual problem and I can just issue a secondary order to resolve whatever the problem is so I can keep focused on my magic item? That becomes a risk-reward system that your characters basically set up for themselves. So that's the idea. So a character, if they're spending a downtime, they can always replace an order that would require a die roll. They can always micromanage that and make the ability check and add the Bastion die to their check. And that becomes, so that's a universal thing. So that doesn't count specifically as a downtime activity here. However, there are downtime activities that can be spent in these facilities that are different from that. There aren't a lot of them. So that's making me think that this would actually be a really good candidate to have a downtime activity included in, because it wouldn't be redundant. The Scriptorum is potentially in the Reliquary. Those are potentially the potential two options that could create redundancies. So let's go. Here's the Reliquary. Downtime activity. Spend a Bastion turn here, and you gain a charm. Arcane, Divine, or Druidic charm. A charm is basically a free casting of a thing without having to worry about the material components, as long as it takes an action or a reaction to cast. Action, reaction, bonus action to cast. And then the Scriptorum. The Scriptorum is also thin on options and offers no benefits, offers no facility benefits nor downtime activities. So I'm feeling like a downtime activity is something that is highly plausible here. Either between the Scriptorum or the Archive. So the Scriptorum makes things, and it can make any kind of scroll. Let's break this down real quick. I'm grabbing everything that has anything to do with libraries, paper, research, like that whole scholarly vein. Since the Scriptorum and I think it's just the Arcane, it's the Archives and Scriptorum. There we go. Okay, great. So it's the Scriptorum, Archives, Arcane Study. That's it. Okay, great. So just those three things. I have to find synergy. Oh yeah, in the library. Duh. And this has 4 already. So we're gonna add these in so we can see, so we can find the holes, right? So we can find where the gaps are and fill them in. Archive. And Arcane Study. Craft. Let's see. Craft here. craft here. Empower, 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 empower. Research, research, research. No research. That would not resolve the improvements, but it could guide us on like a benefit could be granting advantage, granting an extra die on research, for instance. Maybe not though. Let's see. One, two, three, four. Yeah. Researching a topic, you can add a bastion die to the result of your ability check. See, that's oof. No, see, this is a this is just something that you can do. Wait, but you can't. But you can't do it here. So you can't issue the research order through the library. You have to have an archive of some sort. However, library, is that a flaw? You can't issue the research order through the library. Because if I were to add that as an order to be able to use just the common research, I mean that's what the archive does. So we were trying to avoid duplication like that. Create a magic item. See, a library can't make a magic item. It can't. It doesn't empower anything. It has the empowerment order because of this downtime activity. But okay, so this downtime activity, Gain the additional bastion die when we roll the research order. What could I do? I feel like this needs to go away because that's a false thing. Because again, that's going to be in everything. So I need to fix that. That was ooh. I hope I don't have more of those crawling around. We're gonna have to edit. We're gonna have to pump through stuff and see if there's more weirdnesses like that. So library's down to 3. Drab nabbit. There. We're just gonna leave that there. This is the thinky hard brain part. So I'm gonna go with 3 here for the library. We got 3 for the scriptorum. This is the thinky hard brain part. So we go with 3 here for the library. 1, 2, 3 for the archives. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the arcane study. Issue the research order to scribe a new arcane spell onto a scroll that can be added to a spell book or added to a character's list of prepared spells. The maximum spell level. The maximum spell level you can research is based on the number of bastion points, improving the research, improving this facility. That's the language we want to use. Amount of bastion points, improving this facility. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Difficulty of the task, the effective rarity level, and the effective spell level that you can produce. So, improvements in orders. Archive, 1, 2, 3. So the archive doesn't provide any facility benefits and doesn't provide any downtime activities. The library doesn't provide any facility benefits. 1, 2, 3. The library gives you advantage on the Bastion die. The Scriptorum makes stuff, but no downtime activities. Okay, how many things? Bastion die to research. How many do that? We have the library does it once. When issuing the research order, right? Okay, bear with me, because now we gotta go through all of these and looking for facility benefits that increase the. See, this one increases the maintain order, the armory, craft order, auction house. Trade order, maintain order, craft order, auction house, trade order, maintain order, harvest order, trade order, harvest order, craft order, harvest order. Research orders, library, we already have that. Doesn't count. Empower order. Harvest order. Research orders, library, we already have that. Doesn't count. Empower order. Maintain order. Power order, craft order, nope. Harvest order, maintain order, recruit order, power order, harvest order, harvest order, recruit order, empower order, research order. When issued the recruit, when issuing the research order. Okay, so trophy room. Library, trophy room, up and recruit order. No, that's just issuing the recruit order. There you go. So there's only two facilities, library and trophy order, that increase the that gives you advantage on Bastion. I mean, they stack. So you can throw 3 if you have both. If you have a library, a trophy room, and an archive. You can roll 3 Bastion dice when you're making your research check, keeping the best result. That kind of implies there's room for more. But you know what? I've never done the footwork. It's time to do the footwork. Craft. We're going to go through craft. We're going to go through harvest. We're going to go through empower. Maintain. Recruit. We already have research. Trade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. We already have research. Trade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good. So we're going to go through and find out who does the whats. Generally, places that improve, that provides this extra die, generally doesn't issue an order. You generally don't issue orders that you can improve. So they stay separate like that. So for the Scriptorum, and for the Scriptorum specifically, it doesn't have a research order. So I could potentially use the Scriptorum to give an extra Bastion die. But the archive, it does issue the research order, so I could not use that. Issue the research order to describe a new arcane spell. That's pretty unique. I generally don't like having more than one type of order issued. Like I already have Empower. I already have research here for creating a magic item. Archive. So like I can't have like two types of research here. That would make sense. It breaks the rules that we're trying to operate, because if we can operate under those rules, we create a good way to be able to have a mix of different options. Like, so you're not like one facility doesn't focus too hard down on a particular type of task. You have to have other types of facilities to synergize with it to get the most out of it, which I think is just the level of complexity enough to make it fun. The archive research, there is no, okay, so I issue the research order, so I generally can't improve the research order here. So I issue the research order here, I cannot improve the research order, but I can add downtime activities here. I could add downtime activities here, or additional orders to issue. The library issues the research order, so that's been resolved. Scriptorum. I don't feel like the Scriptorum specifically should improve the research order. I don't feel like the Scriptorum specifically should improve the research order. No, if I'm going to scribe a new arcane spell, the arcane study feels like that's where it should be. I was thinking maybe we should move this research option to the Scriptorum instead, because I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around how would a Scriptorum specifically help us in research. It's like a stenographer. It records stuff. So there's not much research that gets done here. It's mostly just production. So we're already crafting scrolls. So before I sweat it too much, because I'm sweating it too much, I'm going to punt. Like the library, you don't do a research roll with the library alone, but you can use the library to improve your research. What do we actually perform research with? The archive, because the archive is basically, it's a data bank of everything. And if you have a library along with it, a library might have more specialized focus than what the archive does. So you can just ask general questions about anything to the archive, but if you have a library sidekick in with you, then you're going to get that advantage on that die roll. But that's it currently. So I'm going to go through the task of reading in how many of these Bastion dice do we get for all of the different orders. There's 7 orders here. We're going to go through all of them. So right now we're going to go through trade. When issue the trade order to acquire magic items, you can roll an additional Bastion die. That is the trophy room. Empower order. What else you got? Harvest order. Nope. Maybe I can do this more efficiently. What else you got? Harvest order. Nope. Maybe I can do this more efficiently. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it this way. Trophy room. Trade, research, and recruit. Let's see. Training area and power check. See, like this downtime activity doesn't require an ability check. It's just your character spends the time there. So it's okay for me to have empower boosting here because this enhancement effect is technically empowering, but it's not actually an empowering roll. That's the loophole. Character participate. Let's see. Recruit order. A teleportation circle. Recruit order. Harvest storehouse. Harvest order makes sense. I bet we'll find our gaps here. Stables is harvest. Spy network, maintain and recruit. Smithy, harvest. Scriptorum, nothing. Sanctum, empower. Pub maintain. Harvest order is menagerie harvest. Harvest order is menagerie harvest. Meditation chamber, empower. Library, research order. Check. Laboratory, harvest order. Guildhall craft. I'm seeing a gap. Greenhouse, harvest. Government is trade. We might change that title. Harvest order for garden. That seems like a lot, but it really isn't. Hold on. We'll explain that in a second. Gaming hall maintain. It seems like a lot, but it really isn't. Hold on. We'll explain that in a second. Demi-plane. Barracks. This seems like a lot, but it's not actually. So we'll walk through that as well. Trade order. Auction house. Trade order. We'll walk through that as well. Armory. Maintain order. Archive. Nothing. Arcane study. Nothing. All right, there's our facilities. There's our breakdown. So, craft has a shortfall of 2. Harvest looks like it has an excess amount, but this is for vegetable for plant materials. This is for harvesting plant materials. This is for harvesting mineral materials. This is for harvesting animal materials. This is for harvesting mineral materials. This is for harvesting animal materials. And this is for harvesting any materials. We put an M there. So, no, that's M. Let's go with X for any of them. So 1/2 plant, 1/2 mineral, 1/2 animal, and then the storehouse is all 3 types. So there's 3 types of materials. We have 3 facilities. We have enough facilities so that each type of material has up to 3 options. So it looks like we're capping with 3 die rolls on these checks. We got 1, 2, 3 here for meditation. I'll come back to you. Recruit 1, 2, 3 for recruiting. Looks like research could use an extra 1. Trade 1, 2, 3. Holy shit. Okay, so why is this not contradictory? Armory is specifically for defending your bastion. Barracks specifically for defending your bastion. Gaming hall specifically for maintaining a lifestyle. Pub specifically for maintaining a lifestyle. Spy network for attacking bastions. Oh no, wait. This is for I think the spy network is defending bastions, and the war room is for attacking bastions, and I think the theater is supposed to be listed in here. No, the theater can actually issue the order of attacking. We should change that. No, the theater can actually issue the order of attacking. We should change that. Yeah, this is character assassination. You can create a performance that shits all over the I guess the target of your hate. But I'm going to actually remove that. And take this down to Bastion conflicts. Where you at? Give me a second. I'll find you. Bastion conflict, sabotage, and warfare. So we're going to put that down there. And that takes us back to the theater. Where is it? We're going to do it like this. Oh, was the theater already short? Damn, the theater's already short one. Okay, so take it. It's still at 3. Thank you. So, new, when issuing the recruit order to sabotage a rival bastion or settlement, you can roll an additional bastion die. And let's check out the war room real quick, just to make sure I have my head screwed on straight. Maintain order to defend the bastion. Yeah. That's too much defense. This should probably be A. This should probably be AD. Spy network should probably be A. Armory and barracks are defense. Theater is attack. Attack, attack, attack. Defend, defend. Oh yeah, that'll work out. Attack, attack, attack. Defend, defend, defend. Perfect. Now, so we have one gap for maintaining a lifestyle. Perfect. Now, so we have one gap for which the theater could do. That makes sense. I think a theater could be used to maintain a lifestyle pretty easily, right? Empower. Recruit. Maintain. So we're going to copy this. When issuing the maintain order to determine the lifestyle of the bastion, one, two, three, four. Theater now provides 4 benefits. And we balanced the equation. War Room is short one. War Room needed attack and defense. Theater now provides 4 benefits. And we balanced the equation. Let's see. When issuing the recruit order to attack. Shit. I need another attack element. I am not seeing it. Jesus. You can issue the recruit order to rally troops. I need to replace this. Replace this with actual troop numbers for attacking, like barracks and crypt are for defending. This would be like the war room. It would be like recruiting an army. You have your barracks, which is recruiting defenses for your bastion or your settlement, and then you would have recruiting for like conscripts or mercenaries or mustering a draft, as opposed to people that you already have on hand. This would be acquiring people ad hoc, like more quickly, just to rally up troops to go attack someplace that's not actually at your bastion. That's the idea that happens there anyway. So maintain orders to defend. The recruit order is attacking. Do I want to? That's the idea. So maintain orders to defend. Recruit order is attacking. Do I want to? I'm sensing some duplicity in the. Maintaining is defending. Recruiting is framed as attacking. But it could just be a separate, I mean, it could just be a separate die roll. The mechanics would be exactly the same, except it's not pinned to a specific order. But anything that can succeed or fail is generally pinned to an order. That's where the recruit comes from. So but this bastion mechanic, this really is a mechanic of warfare itself. It doesn't necessarily, it's not necessarily pinned. You have to issue an order to order the army to attack. It's literally issuing an order to attack. So having an order makes sense. It legitimately makes sense. Thinking things through. Because I'm trying to fix one problem, it's uncovering or creating another problem. Because I'm trying to fix one problem, it's uncovering or creating another problem. Damn it! This is really rotting my brain. Because there's the barracks that we use, you issue the order to the barracks to recruit the crew. That's a great question. Does the barracks? No, because the maintain order is recruiting gathers troops. It's also the order to send them off to fight. So there's a weird juxtapose there. Because you have to recruit troops, and then you issue the maintain order to protect your bastion. So the maintain order is attacking. The bastion order is basically a parry roll to try to beat your opponent's die roll. And the recruit action is both gathering troops and personnel, but it's also attacking. While maintain is defending your bastion and maintaining and determining the lifestyle for your bastion. So that has two functions too. Fuck. But these are holes that would appear eventually, so I'm glad I'm seeing them now. So yeah, recruit order, grab a bunch of troops. When issuing the maintain order, and then you have these troops, presumably you would then issue the recruit order for them to, not you have them assembled, to go attack. When issuing the maintain order to defend a bastion or to resolve a confliction, you can roll an additional bastion die, adding the highest roll to the result of the check. So that works. Hold on. What about? Hold on. Let's check out the spy. Let's see what the spy network has got. The spy network might be the answer. I've already got it doing so much work. 2, 3, 4. There it is. Yeah, attack and defense. The spy network is attack and defend. There it is. Yeah, attack and defense. Spy Network is attack and defense. Brain is melting. Hold on. Sabotage. That is the theater. Pub and theater. Right. There. Spy Network. Oh yeah, it was also the barracks. No, we didn't get past Spy Network, did we? No, we did. Barracks. Barracks is also recruit. Barracks is for soldiers, specialists, etc. Wait, I really feel like I'm missing shit here. Hey, what's up, Francois? Have pillage orders that increases lifestyle. Nice. Very nice. Make it so. Let's see. Empower order sanctum. Meditation chamber. No, wait. Sacristy. Pub is maintained. Harvest order is menagerie. Meditation is empower. Library is research. Laboratory is harvest. Guild hall is craft order to create a non-magical item. That's right. Harvest order for the greenhouse. We have that already. Government's trade order. We have that. Garden. Harvest. We have that. This is perfect. Gaming hall. Lifestyle bastion. Check. Demi-plane. Nope. No. Maintain order to defend the bastion. There you go. That's the barracks. Defend, 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 defend. No, it's a spy network that defends. And it's the war room. So you have 3 defense. And we have 3 maintain. And then recruiting. So this is for specialists. This is for specialists. So this is and this is for attacking. Holy shit! It fucking worked. That's fucking crazy. This is literally all working out perfectly. So what room we have open is we have 1 slot open for research, so one of our facilities can give a bonus to research. 2 of our we can have 2 separate facilities grant bonuses to crafting. What room we have open is we have 1 slot open for research. Facilities a brothel, probably the pub. Give a bonus to research. 2 of our we can have 2 separate facilities. It could also be the spy network, or the auction house if you're that way. I can't believe that worked out. Holy shit, that was amazing. Okay. Let's see. So going back to our unfulfilled. I can't believe that worked out. Holy shit, that was amazing. Okay. All right, so that worked out, but what condition does that leave our war room, for example? Oh no, yeah, that totally, that's fine. We're still short a facility in the war room, though. The armory can trade to gain weapons and stuff. Is there another facility benefit? We can't give it. It already has defend the bastion, resolve to defend the bastion, or resolve complications. No. It has orders already. You increase the die roll. That's what specialists do. They artificially increase the die roll without having to make a larger space. So they'll be a little less visible and a little more skilled. You increase the die roll. That's what specialists do. They artificially increase the die roll without having to make a larger space. Careful where you take your humor tonight, Francois. My mother watches. Careful where you take your humor tonight, Francois. 1, 2, 3. I'm missing something still. I need something. This doesn't feel right for research. Oh, farf. Maybe a downtime activity? This doesn't feel right for research. What kind of downtime activity could my character gain? What benefit could my character gain for having a downtime activity spent in the war room? Can't double dip recruiting, so we're already hiring troops. Let's see. Power. Trade. Oh, we added maintain to the theater. One, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the theater has 4 things now. Don't feel like we needed to add another maintain order, but there it is. We'll add 2 more for research, probably. Another 2 for craft. No, 1 more for research and 2 for crafting. They probably don't need that. Nah. Anyway. Cartography. Let's go take a look at the war room as listed. What do you mean by cartography? Let's go take a look at the war room as listed. What do you mean by cartography? Harvest gold from the sale of siege engines. Let's see. The war room is where you're playing your strategies. Each one battle hardened blah. Defend, however, if your bastion is attacked. The secure accommodations. The war room contains war memorability, recruit options. We need to take the recruit action to order the facility. Choose one of the following options: recruit a lieutenant, recruit soldiers. Huh. Fighting style or unarmed defense feature. Vast. Oh, I see. We don't have to worry about sale. Like the scriptorum can like automatically, assumedly do that. The maintain lifestyle role that we make basically makes a roll for all the different types of facilities that we have, boils it down to that one die roll to see how well we've produced wealth from our facilities. So like an archive, a library, or a scriptorum could all do cartography. So the observatory, those 4 facilities could, for instance, create maps that they're selling to create the lifestyle that we're maintaining for our facility. That's how that works. So let's see. Boy, I'm really stuck on this war room thing. Trade and it has to be a downtime facility because I don't have a facility benefit. Wait a second. Maintain order already gives me advantage on my Bastion die roll. So in that sense, it's good at defending. The recruit order is used to export. Why do I have... Yeah, maintain for the maintain order boost. Recruit for the recruiting order boost. Wait for it. Issue an order to gather information about the people, places, and things local and abroad. Searching for sabotage or information about potential rival targets. We could grant an advantage to research for. I'm not opposed to that. I don't see any other obvious jump outs for a research order. Hold on, let's go back. We have 1 research order spot open. War room could potentially be used as like coordinating with. Like assessing battlefield conditions and shit like that. Like maybe that could be a means to this. But which ones are shy? So the war room needs 1, and I need 1 for recruit. I need 1 for research. Storeroom for research makes no sense. Scriptorum for research doesn't quite make sense because the scriptorum creates scrolls, maps, etc. Like we were talking about. There's the observatory, which already provides a research order, so I can't provide a advantage to that order. Menagerie. I don't see anything leaping out at me research based with the menagerie. Library already has a bonus to research die rolls. Government. I don't see the government being research focused. Gaming hall, no. Demiplane, no. I guess Demiplane could be involved in research. No, Demiplanes make things go faster, not better. So no. Crypt, no. Barracks, no. Archive already has the research order that you issued to discover. Yeah, it looks like War Room is going to issue advantage on research checks involving the environment around you and potential rivals. That makes sense. There, we'll do that. That locks that down. So let's go to the war room. This is going to add research. When issuing the research order to learn information about neighboring nations, rivals, and local events. Local events or NPCs. You can roll an additional Bastion die, adding the highest result to the adding the highest roll to the result of the check. There. Now, War Room is done, and we have our 3 points of research. That worked out. God willing, that's going to work out for the rest of them. Let's add a point to research. Tickety, tickety. And we have our 3 points of research. That worked out. God willing, that's going to work out for the rest of them. Let's add a point to research. The storehouse needs another advancement and or another benefit. And we have, is there something other than the store? I can see the storehouse being good for crafting because you have a lot of material on hand that makes it easy for you to be able to craft whatever you need without having to requisite it first. So that makes sense for the storehouse. But what else do we have? The observatory? No. Menagerie, crafting. I don't see that improving crafting specifically. Library, not so much. Government, no. Gaming hall crafting. Demiplane already has a crafting modifier. Archive. I think the archive already has crafting. No, the archive doesn't. It's the arcane study that has crafting already. But I don't see the archive specifically making crafting better. I think the storehouse, of all the things that are short one, I'd say the storehouse is the best example of what could be used to improve crafting. But I think we need 2 of them though. I think the storehouse, of all the things that are short one, I'd say the storehouse is the best. Yeah. So I think the storehouse is a good choice here. So let's do that. Yeah. So I think the storehouse is a good choice. I see some text. Hold on. I'll get to you. When issuing a craft order to create non-magical items, I think that makes sense. Good. Storeroom. That takes care of storehouse. Right. That takes care of that. We're only down 1. And then we can go back to here and we can add number 4 to the storehouse. Craft, harvest, trade. What's up? No, I don't need more for maintain. Maintain is full. See, I've got 3 for maintaining lifestyle, and I've got 3 for defending the bastion from attack. So, and I'm capping it at 3 because that gives you a potential 4 dice to roll, and that's going to give you really, really good die rolls. But it's not, it's at least a little bit of roll. Stables can have recruit. I don't need more for recruit. Oh, as an action though, as an order potentially, because I don't have a limit on orders right now. There's potential there. Yeah. I think that might make sense. Do we need? Oh wait, 1, 2. We already have 4 for stables. Stables is full. We need 1 more. We already have 4 for stables. Stables is full. 1 more for crafting. We need 1 more. 1 more for crafting. I can see Scriptorum going into crafting. The storehouse is full now, so I don't need to add anything more to that. The only ones I need to add to are the ones that have 3s next to them. The Scriptorum needs 1. The Observatory needs 1. The Menagerie needs 1. The Library needs 1. And now here's the kicker. I only have 1 spot open for crafting. So all these things that, like the archive, I either have to come up with an additional order to issue the archive that's not already covered in the things that it can do, or I need to find a downtime activity for the characters to perform that are unique to that facility. So we're going to end up adding in a bunch of downtime activities, basically. Or we need to come up with facility benefits that aren't related to adding dice. So the first thing I want to do is lock down the crafting order, and I think probably the best way for us to do that is probably going to be the Scriptorum. It's not perfect. So the first thing I want to do is lock down the crafting order. Probably the best way for us to do that. No, let's go with the archive. Probably going to be the Scriptorum. The data center of all things. Let's give the archive a crafting bonus. Great conspiracy, knock it off. I don't know. What do we think? Is Archive or Scriptorum better for adding a crafting bonus? Just making stuff in general. Yeah, the Scriptorum's too limited. It should be Archive. I think that's true. I don't know. What do we think? Is Archive or Scriptorum better for adding a crafting bonus? Just making stuff in general. Yeah, the Scriptorum's too limited. It should be Archive. I think that's true. It's just, yeah, I'm just running out of options. That's a good one. So let's do that. Facilities benefit. Facility benefits. There. And issuing a craft order to create non-magical items. Craft order to create legislation. Knock it off. I think you're lit. I think that's what's happening here. Legislation. Knock it off. So many shenanigans. Our archive is a bit of a stretch, but like you need plans. You need to know how to make things. So I think the archive. I think the archive can I think the archive can bend in that direction. Let's get Demi playing again real quick. Oh, wait. This doesn't, this is when a facility can craft a magic item or power If the entire facility is inside the demi-plane, reduce the time it takes to create them. So I don't want to double. I honestly don't want to double dip that. The entire facility is inside the demi-plane, reduce the time it takes to create them. So I don't want to double. Guild. Guild already improves it. 1, 2, 3, 4. We already have all of our improvements, and it already has a crafting order, so that wouldn't work. The archive seems to be the best place to fit it. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Roll Quarry is already covered. Roll Quarry is already covered. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. Archives it is. It's not. It's a little wonky, but I'm okay with it. I'm gonna have to be okay with it. There's nothing else. Nothing else seems to naturally fit. But that stack is fucking great. I like that. Okay, cool. So what's next? Eye on the prize. We still have a scriptorum. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 to go. Was 12, so we're not doing bad. Barracks needs something. Crypt needs something. Demiplane needs something. Gaming hall needs something. Government needs something. So these are all going to have to be either orders that we issue. Downtime activities that characters can benefit from for spending their turn there. Okay, government. We know as a default, anything that you do, anything that you can issue an order to your bastion, to the facility, you can instead have the character perform that action instead and use that order to add the bastion dice to the character's ability check. So if we were to take that logic and look at, say, crafting legislation as a government, you can issue the maintain order to govern a settlement as detailed in the settlement sections below. The difficulty of governing the settlement is determined by the size of this population, by its size and population as listed below. So a hamlet's easy to control, DC 10. So if your character is actively governing as their downtime activity in the government, then it's their ability, basically it's their influence, their charisma influence, it would be their charisma persuasion roll, adding the bastion die to that. So, but that's them taking an active hand in government. So, what I'm thinking instead is to take it in a different direction, like this. Hold on. So, but that's them taking an active hand in government. So, what I'm thinking instead. Let's go with. Downtime activities. Because creating downtime activities doesn't add orders. It doesn't add different types of orders. It's just something you can do. So where's the other one? Downtime. Is that the way I'm supposed to downtime activities? There's so few of them. It's good to actually add some. Look how few there are. God, there's so few. Downtime activities. Here we go. How do I structure this? Hold on. I need that. Come back. I don't like that one. Downtime activities. Here we go. Ugh, I don't like this one either. I'm being picky. Whatever. I'm just gonna grab this. This is getting a little ridiculous. So let's go back to Government. And then a character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains advantage when using the influence gains advantage when taking the influence action to change the disposition of any the disposition of the population. Disposition is friendly, neutral, or hostile. So if my character is interacting to change, let's see, taking the influence action when using this facility gains advantage when taking the gains advantage. There's a thing for this already. Hold on. There's actually a thing for this. There's a thing for this already. It's the maintain order that they have in here. Hold on. It's the maintain order that they have in here. Hold on. What is it? Where does it talk about it? Fuck you. Come on, where is it? Bastion events. Maybe it's down here. There's a thing about influencing things around you. And of course, it's completely difficult to find. There's a thing about influencing things around you. And of course, it's completely difficult to find. Is it the pub that does that? Basic facilities. It's about issuing orders to a basic. It's about issuing orders. If you're not issuing orders, it has this default thing. It's something about while you're within range of your facility, you have like advantage on ability checks or some shit. If you're not issuing orders, it has this default thing. It's something about while you're within range of your facility, you have like by 1 degree. Thank you. By 1 degree. Thank you. God damn it. Oh, maybe that was in the that was part of the playtest content. Let's go find that real quick. Hold on. Maybe that was in the that was part of the playtest content. Is that one D&D playtest 10? Which one D&D playtest Bastion. Give me the link. There. Bastion turns. Bastion points. See, we kept Bastion points, but we repurposed them in a different way. Instead of making magic items, you make facilities with them now. See, we kept Bastion points. Bastion map, Bastion facilities. Adding basic facilities. Space facilities, orders. Maintain. There it is. Other uses of Bastion points. On gaining a level, a character can spend 10 Bastion points to ensure their word of their heroic deeds spread throughout the region around their Bastion. For the next 7 days, the characters have advantage on all charisma checks while within 50 miles of their Bastion check. When a character dies, the character can spend 100 Bastion points to regain. Fuck that. All right, so that's what it is. It's advantage on all charisma checks. A character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this feature gains advantage on all charisma checks when interacting with individuals in the settlement. Like because the Bastion roll, you can use your ability checks, but that's making a Bastion check. It's a charisma. Let's see. When issuing the trade order to when a character that spends a Bastion turn of downtime activity using this facility gains advantage on all charisma checks while interacting with individuals in the settlement. When interacting personally. That would not be a Bastion check. A Bastion check, you could be making a charisma check, but you're not doing personal interaction. You're working with the government as a whole. You're taking a hand in government affairs, not interacting with individuals. When personally interacting, when personally interacting with individuals in the settlement. No, wait. On all charisma checks when interacting with of the settlement. Okay, because that's actually a really fine point. Because if you're going to use your downtime activity to issue orders instead of leaving the order to the Bastion, you gain the ability of adding the Bastion to your ability check. But that is different from spending a downtime activity of just hanging out in your community. Like being available on the street, playing backgammon with guys out front of the coffee shop at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's a downtime activity where you're just integrating with the community. And that's what this downtime activity is referring to specifically, as opposed to the general downtime activity of I'm going to perform an order instead of issuing it to my Bastion. They're different, so I can have that. Because in both circumstances here, I would probably roll a charisma check on either one of those. Either interacting at the individual level, playing backgammon at the coffee shop, or on the floor of the Senate issuing legislation. That would be using my downtime to govern, which is different. So that actually works. Thank you, Archive. I'm going to keep you on tap here just in case. That was super useful. All right, government is now resolved. It has its 4 things. These are tricky, man. These are really, really tricky. What time is it? 7:45. Okay, let's see. I don't have much left in the tank tonight. I can feel that I am running out of energy on this, and I need to do book work. So, let's see if we can resolve the scriptorum. So I don't have any bonus dice I can give anymore, but I do have potential facility benefits, and I have downtime activities. And there's other orders that could be potentially issued. Craft and Empower. Those are the only 2 orders we have right now, so that's a little thin. Which is okay. Non-magical items off of the approved list. And making scrolls, which makes sense. What about... Hold on. Okay, I've got one. I don't know if it exists anymore, but... missing the party these days. Hey, Omni, how you doing? Right on, man. Well, I'm happy to have you. Glad to be here. So the idea is, what was the spell called? Am I crazy? Is it called Glyphs and Wards? The spell that would allow you to like basically trap your facility, like trap your temple or trap your mage tower. D&D spell. I'm pretty sure it was called Glyphs and Wards. Although Glyph of Warding isn't necessarily a bad idea. What am I thinking of? Is it Guards and Wards? No, it's... Although Glyph of Warding isn't necessarily a bad idea. Oh wait, maybe it is this. Maybe I'm just not remembering. Explosive runes. Spell glyph. See, I can see the scriptorum as a facility benefit. You can have one casting. You can have one casting of glyph active, per point that you put into the spell. So spell glyph, you can store a prepared spell of 3rd level or lower in the glyph by casting it as part of creating the... Oh yeah, this might be the way to do it. The spell must target a single... This is actually a really fucking cool idea. When you cast this spell using a spell slot of 4th level or higher, the damage of an explosive root increases. If you create a spell glyph, you can store any spell up to the same level. That's the solution right there. Guards and wards. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Omni. Thank you, thank you. Sepia Snake Sigil, right on. Let's see how this works. You can specify individuals that are unaffected by the spell's effects. You can also specify a password that when... Yes. The spell creates an effect. You can specify individuals that are unaffected by the spell's effects. You can also specify a password that... The spell creates the effects below within the worded area. The spell creates an effect. The spell creates the effects below within the worded area. What level is this? 6th level spell. Holy biscuit. Boy, oh boy, I really like this idea, but it's very, very powerful. Instead, let's do the spell glyph. I like that better. Instead, let's do the spell glyph. I like that better. That actually makes sense for a scriptorum. You can create your bastion has a number of spell glyphs inscribed within its borders. The number of glyphs that can be active at once is equal to the max rank of the bastion. The maximum level spell that can be inscribed this way is determined by the rank of the bastion. That's redundant language, but I'm going to leave it be for now for simplicity. As listed below. And then we find just a random charm table. There we go. As listed below. And then we find just a random charm table. There we go. Nope, not the right one. There we go. I like this a lot. Come on, stupid. Thank you. There. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's perfect. I love that. I love that. Now you can just pick and choose how your defense, or you can set up like healing. You can set up teleportation or like movement stuff, defenses, creation stuff. There's a lot of different ways that you can play that and combine it with stuff. It's also really useful if you make your like your Spelljammer ship or like pirate ships or whatever bastions, and you can start loading them up with like with repair glyphs, kind of like with the repair source, the repair wizard in the Spelljammer subclasses book that we've been building. That's currently on hold because of bandwidth, but that totally works. Thank you guys. Although I love the idea of guards and wards, by the time your facility gets to 4th rank, you could then have guards and wards be one of those spell glyphs that you trigger. So, there you go. That totally works. Holy shit, I love that. Fucking cool. So we can get rid of this. Scriptorum is now resolved without any additional flack. God, that was gorgeous. I'll take another 10 of those, but I only need how many more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I only need 7 more. I don't need 10. Hey, what's up? A bastion can have, well, anywhere from 1 or more. It depends on how you layer them. Each character could have their own bastion. The group could just have a single bastion. If you have, you can franchise, in that you take a number of bastion points and you just break the anytime you spend bastion points, you're basically acquiring a bastion, but you have to be able to communicate with them. So that's the thing. You have to be able to stay in communication to issue them orders for you to be able to function with the bastion. I think we were looking at, I don't know if we actually established it or not, but we were talking about establishing sending stones as a that's what we should have in the observatory. Holy fuck. Yeah. The idea is if you have a bunch of if you have sending stones in each facility, you can issue orders to your facility each day, and so that way you can maintain stuff like the sending stone. Yeah, you just have to basically keep a bag of rocks with you for all your different facilities, or all your different bastions. You can set up a different bastion in each town, as long as you're able to maintain a lifestyle for it, and you can just leave it be and let it run on its own. And the default is just maintain business. So we just keep the doors open and keep things going. Otherwise, you're welcome to have as many bastions as you want. If they're all inside of one location, then you like have to. You're basically always just peeling off points. So like if you had like 10 different locations, but they only had 3 points each, they're only first rank bastions each. You have to invest a lot of resources, and like the gold value gets like really crazy. Like once your bastion gets to 3rd rank, the point spend gets ridiculous. Speaking of which, I need to look at my table again here. This should actually be 1 plus, 11 plus, 21 plus, 31 plus, 41 plus. So like once I get the 3rd rank, each bastion point's worth 10,000 gold. So it's only 100 gold for 1st rank up to levels 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, and then 41 plus. So if I have 7 bastions and they all have 3 points each, they're only 1st rank bastions. They can't do a lot. They can do some stuff, but they're not really good. You really have to spend like a fuck ton of gold to get bastion points at these really high ranks. It's more like you're going to be using your bastion to acquire bastion points from other bastions and settlements, or they're going to be rewarded to you by like the local government or whatever, until you become the local government with the government facilities, in which case you start governing for that facility, that settlement. But that's why the Bastion campaign leans into the idea of generating adventures for your characters, because those adventures can potentially generate enough enough like effective gold value that they're worth a bastion point. Like you help the government get rid of a cult. Well, they're going to give you 3 bastion points in the form of this temple or whatever that was uncovered. And that is now yours to govern. And it's only a first rank temple right now, but you can develop it with sacristies and reliquaries and sanctuaries and all that stuff and build it out. But it's going to take time and effort to do that. There are a few ways inside the system that a bastion can acquire points on its own, like through auctioning or trade. But it's risky and it's not guaranteed. And it could actually cause you damage instead of improving your bastion. So it's high risk, high reward, just like the stock market should be. But to guarantee that your characters are getting more bastion points, they go on adventures where they can get gold that they can convert where they can convert the gold into low cost bastion points for low rank facilities. And then as you escalate to higher and higher levels, you start getting actual bastion points as your reward instead of gold that gets converted. See how that works? You eventually climb out of the dungeon to conquer the world. And when you do, you're like, I'm going to take over Persia, so I'm going to get 30 bastion points to distribute amongst different strongholds along the frontier, along the border between Persia and my empire, for instance. And my camera's off there. So that's the mechanic. That's the mechanical idea that goes behind that. And no, yeah, it is. Hold on. Yeah, it has to be 10 because that's when the 1,000 gold value clicks in. Yeah, it wasn't crazy after all. I thought I had to change that, but no, that is as intended. That's how the math works. Yeah. Yeah, that's the only way the math actually works. Oddly enough. Huh. Cool. Let's see. So that resolves the scriptorum. That was amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I feel like maybe I have one more in me, but I think I'm almost out. It's 8 o'clock. I'm almost out. Let's see. What's the other one that I have to work on? So on Monday when we come back, we'll probably be able to finish these last 7 and then finally be done with facilities as a whole. And then we can move into bastion conflicts of warfare and sabotage. And then we'll be ready to standardize the language for how orders interact with the characters in the bastions. Now that we'll have properly defined all the things that bastions can do, we can then codify all of that into the orders. So we'll have the orders, the facilities, structure of facilities, benefits of facilities, bastion conflicts, complications, then conflicts, and then the item equipment tables and magic item breakdown. And then that'll be, and then we just gotta start adding connective tissue, like language, like to explain all this stuff, which will just be me text monkeying a bit. The hard mechanical stuff will be done. And once we get through that written process, then we hand it off to an editor. The editor chews on it and kicks it back to us. We do text cleanup and we create spaces for visuals, and we start creating the visual elements just like we're doing with Everon in the morning now. So this is actually pretty far down the pipeline. Observatory was going to be sending stones. That's right. So let's go to the observatory. Research and empowerment still in place. This feels like a good idea. So let's go to the observatory. Research and empowerment still in place. This is gonna really work out. Hold on real quick. Facility benefits. Where's the crypt? Facility benefits. once per day. Can target once per day. This is the wrong language. What is the that's it. The planar gate. It was right next to it. Just went the wrong way, Kearney. What is the there? Super simple, super obvious for an observatory. This facility can cast the scry spell once per day. This facility can cast the scry spell once per day. You can see or hear a particular creature you choose that is on the same plane of existence as you. The target must make a wisdom saving throw, which is modified by how well you know the target and the sort of physical connection you have to it. If the target knows you're casting the spell, it can fail the saving throw voluntarily if it wants to be observed. Is this Legacy? Yeah. Instead of targeting a creature, you can target a location you have seen before as the target of the spell. When you do this, sensor appears in that location. Instead of targeting a creature, you can target a location you have seen before as the target of the spell. Yep. When you do this, sensor appears in that location. Let's look that up. Modify, save throw. Yep. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. Super easy. God, that was obvious. Yep. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. If the target is a creature you are familiar with. If the target is a creature familiar to the Bastion. You are familiar with. The target is a creature. They don't need to be on the same plane of existence. This will allow us to have Spelljammer technology. So you feel the ping, you know there's a sensor coming in, you know you're being observed, then you issue your orders to your facility back at the observation, and then you dismiss the orb and it goes away and you can feel its presence disappear and you know that your message has been received. So 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect. That worked out a lot better than I thought it was going to. So we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have six facilities left, but honestly, I'm starting to feel pretty fatigued. So we've been at this. How long have we been at this for? For 2.5 hours. I think this has been a pretty haul for 2.5 hours. I am pretty fucking happy with where we're at. So I'm going to go ahead and stop for now. When we come back and work on this again Monday nights, we'll take care of the rest of these facilities in a similar means. We know that we're looking for facility benefits that don't modify dice at all or downtime activities that characters can benefit from. It can often just be as simple as we added 2 spells. Those are things that we did. So that worked out well. We're going to be back tomorrow morning to work on more Eberron art. Tomorrow at lunchtime, I think I'm going to finish our work on the Artificer update and translate the Cartographer into the Martial Power System. And then I'll be offline on Saturday. I'll be playtesting in the morning, brunch time. And then Yeah, and then I'll be off for all of Sunday, but I'll be on my Discord occasionally, so you're welcome to hang out with me there. And then we'll be back into it like normal on Monday with Everon Art in the morning, and then the Bastion system in the evening. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, blah, 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 blah. Week goes back into the week. So this is good. We're making progress, guys. I made a 5e Mesmerist with 4 subclasses. Hey, congrats. Oh, fun. Right on. Yeah, damn straight, dude. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it, Omni. All right, that's it for now, guys. I will catch you on the other side, maybe in the morning. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the mix. Like, subscribe. Stick around for more. I'll be doing this until God takes me away. So, talk to you later. Bye.